Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and tonight we have another segment of 20 random questions. And tonight's guest is professional boxer Steven So Cold Nelson. How you doing, Steven?
So cold, I'm in the building.
Happy to have you on, man. I appreciate you coming on. I know you're a busy guy. I just want to talk about the last couple weeks. You've been real busy.
Man, super busy. People think it's supposed to cool down now, and I'm still busy because I wear 6 different hats, literally, and not just exaggerating. I probably wear more than that, but I can count 6 right now.
Explain that to me a little bit for the fans. What does that mean? You're wearing 6 different hats?
My name So Cold is just not a cool name. No, it fit me. I was given a name by other people who've been around me. They call me So Cold because, like they say, man, he cold. I'm so cold at everything I do. I have a lot of different skills and experiences. I've been all across the world, and I done picked up so many different things that I can do, and I'm continually adding to it. But not only do I know how to do these things, I'm really good at each one. Going from being a boxer to being a artist. I paint portraits. I make my own uniforms. I recently started learning how to fly planes. I'm getting my pilot license. Mechanic, carpenter, do tattoos, barber, cut hair, like you name it. Like I used to be in the military. My job was satellite communications, computer science. Everything. I do a little bit of so many different things. I think it's easier to say what I don't do.
Okay.
And people ask like, "What can't you do?" And I always tell them like, "Sing." I can do everything, but I always wanted to be a singer, and I just can't sing.
All right, well let's jump back a couple weeks here. We all know there was a huge fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford, and a lot of people might not know that you're actually a teammate of Terrence Crawford's. You're in the gym with him, right?
Yeah, I think a teammate is an understatement.
Okay, more like a brother.
We are teammates now, but I grew up with Bud. I've been knowing Bud since we were 10 years old. We grew up in the same neighborhood, same area, ran the streets with the same people, got a similar background, trouble kid from North Omaha. And I wasn't boxing when I first met Bud. I didn't start boxing until I was 21. I just been knowing Bud, and Bud was always known as the boxer from Omaha. But when I started boxing, our relationship became even closer because he was the first person I reached out to, like, hey, I'm boxing now. And I sparred him, and, he helped me grow into the fighter I am now. And people who don't know, I'm 19-0, 15 knockouts, NABA champion. I used to have the NABO, but I had an injury, so I was off for about 2 years. But as soon as I came back, I'm back on board. So that's how I said, man, me and Bud, we're brothers first. We're friends, we're colleagues. I'm also the executive director of the nonprofit that him and our coach Bomac founded years ago. And I've always been part of it, but now I'm the executive director, and we got a whole nonprofit program going on with over 300 kids in it. So
wow.
We do a lot of things.
Okay, so now you and him were both just on that card, right? You defended your title on that card?
Well, I won my first title back in December. Was my first fight back, and I didn't get no rounds. The first time I fought, it was a guy, and I stopped in the first round. But this last fight, I got to work off a little bit more ring rust. I haven't been in the ring, really for almost 3 years now. So I got to work that ring rust off, and I actually won the NABA. It was a vacant title, which is basically like a regional title for the WBA. It's a North American title for the WBA.
Okay, so after you won your title and Crawford obviously became undisputed, there was a huge parade. I saw videos, I saw pictures, I saw you in the parade. Tell me about that a little bit. How that felt for the whole city of Omaha to come out and like just cheer all you guys on like that.
Yeah, I was actually the director of the parade. The first day I
Oh.
came back, the mayor contacted me because I'm like that person right between to getting hold of Bud. So they contacted me and said, "Hey, we want to have a parade, a celebratory parade for Bud, because we don't have a pro team in Omaha. We don't have a basketball team, a football team, or any pro team like that. So Bud is our pro team. So the city wanted to celebrate it like it was Super Bowl. So the mayor hit me up, and I came back with a couple things we wanted as a team, which was to benefit our community and our organization, and we came to agreement, and we even had an agreement on what they can give Bud as a gift, because they already gave him his own street. They already gave him a key to the city. He got his own day. And like, what can we give you guys? Like, I know for a while.
And then, so they ended up giving them. Now, how did that go with the gym? They ended up paying. Did they give them the land? Is that what that?
Yeah. So for the past few months, I've been working with a architect company, and we've been trying to expand because I said we had 300 kids, and our gym is outnumbered. We service so many kids, and we have many programs we try to build. And I have been already working with an architect company. I have renders and everything sitting right here on my desk. I'm in my office right now, and I just brought it to her attention, like, hey, well, we've been trying to expand, and we were looking at this land that the city owns. That would be a great gift. And the mayor was like, yeah, let's do it. So it was awesome to be able to negotiate that, and they didn't give it to us. We bought it for $1.
Yeah, I saw. No, I saw that. I saw the video. I watched it. That was pretty
Right.
cool how they did it like that.
But as far as the parade, man, it was great because we wanted to do it in North Omaha. And then the mayor was like, no, like for the magnitude that we're trying to do it, nowhere in North Omaha, which is like, North Omaha is the area where a lot of, lower class or, black and, underprivileged people are from. It's pretty much the hood. And he was like, man, nowhere in North Omaha is going to support the magnitude of what we're trying to do. Which downtown is still North Omaha. So she said, let's do it downtown. And I'm lucky we decided to do it downtown because it was over 20,000 people there. And
It looked insane. I saw it on. I saw it on the videos.
And even my grandmother said, man, I've been here for 87 years. I have never seen anything like this. And I'm so proud of you guys. And she was crying. Like, that's how amazing it was. And to be part of it, it was just amazing to see we finally, as a team, getting our just due. What we've been dreaming about for years and talking about and asking and begging and trying to get everybody to see that we something special, Bud special. And finally people is understanding, like, man, like this guy, Bud, is going to be like forever talked about.
Oh, I think all you guys are going to be talked about after what's going on.
But not only locally, but worldwide.
So now tell me about the trunks, because you actually or the outfit you designed, Terrence Crawford's outfit that he came out in with the net and stuff on, right?
Yeah. So like I said, I'm an artist all around. I'm So Cold. They call me So Cold for a reason, And I make my own uniforms, like from flat material. I go out and buy material, and I make my own uniforms. And Bud, he's been signed to Everlast for years now, and they usually make his uniform. He has a deal with them, and they usually make his uniforms. So when I first came back last December, he was like, man, you know what, dude? I want you to design my uniform. And I'm like, how am I do that if Everlast make them? He's like, this design it. They'll make it however you design it. I'm like, all right, cool. So I already had a relationship with Everlast because they've been sponsoring our gym and sponsoring me as an athlete So I designed his a uniform in December, and I sent it to him, and they made it exactly how I designed it. So then after that fight, everybody was like, "Man, this is a different style for Bud. I ain't never seen him wear it on like this," and everybody loved it. So for this fight, after he already been telling me for months, like, "Hey man, I'm about to get this Spence fight done. Don't tell nobody, but I'm working the back end back here. I'm about to get it done. But you know you're gonna be on the card." He said, "And you know I want you to design my uniform again." I was like, "Oh yeah, I got you. I already got it." So initially, my thing was, let's go with Aquaman, because I always come out with different characters for every fight, different characters I grew up on. And Bud was like, he told me to design. I was like, you know what? I'm a design like an Aquaman type uniform. So then I took an old picture of his and I edited it up and I showed him a picture of him being Aquaman, and we sent it. And then he posted it like to announce the fight. Everybody seen the Aquaman where he had a stake and everything.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? Everybody's going to expect him to come out to Aquaman now, because you know Spence called himself Big Fish, so it fit perfect. I was like, you know what? I'm about to redirect this. I'm about to do something else. So everybody was like, he coming out as Aquaman, huh? Aquaman, like, just wait. And I had that in the bag, because when you creative like that, I can just pull stuff out. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to design a fisherman uniform.
Yeah, that was smooth, man. I ain't never seen anybody's trunk or outfit on that had like a net like that.
Yeah, and the first thing I thought about the movie I used to watch, I Know What You Did Last Summer, where the guy, he was a fisherman, but he had this dark looking hood and everything, and he had the claws. So that's where I designed the hood from. He didn't wear the hood coming out; it was kind of folded back, but it had the hood and everything. The only thing with the uniform that I wanted to add, but we were so much in the mix with fight week. So when we finally got the uniform, which we were supposed to have it like weeks before the fight, but it was a holdup coming from the manufacturer, I didn't get it to the fight week. The only thing I wanted to add to it was on the net, it was supposed to be like bobbers and like tackle box gear and stuff. So I was like, damn, I wish I would have got that. People would have really went crazy, but it was perfect how it was. Like, it happened like that for a reason. And it was great. People was like, man.
All right, so you ready for these random 20 questions?
Oh yeah, always ready.
All right, question 1. How did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
I was in the Army, and I just wanted to do something different than just the traditional Army workout, push-ups, sit-ups, run. So I went to a local boxing gym, and within the first week, it was at ABC Boxing Academy in North Carolina. The coach, Shaquille Khalil, noticed something special in me, and it went up from there. Within almost 2 years, I was on the Olympic team. I was an Olympic training partner in 2012. Went to London. Spence was on the team and stuff. So, yeah, that's where I met all them guys.
And then that's how. So then you ended up, when you got out of the service, you moved back to Nebraska. Is that how you ended up back there?
After I got the service, I moved to San Diego. It was in San Diego for 3 years. And then in 2018, I moved back to Omaha, Nebraska because my main coaches was the same coaches Bud had. And at first, when I first went pro, it was easy to just train out there and then just meet them at fights. Okay. But when the competition started coming up, that's when I had to move back to Omaha so we could focus as a team.
Okay. All right, question 2. Tell me your boxing Mount Rushmore, your top 4 guys to you.
I'm gonna leave Bud off this, you know what I mean? Cause
no, that's fine. That's fine.
So outside of that, it is Muhammad Ali. Wait, let me go back. I actually painted a portrait with my Mount Box. I call it Mount Boxmore, and it had Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray, Mike Tyson.
That'd be Sugar Ray Leonard for the fans.
Yep, Sugar Ray Leonard. And then on the part of the mountain where it was by themselves, there was a whole different one by itself was Mayweather, because he was a different, you know what I mean? he excelled financially and as a boxer. So that's why I kept him by himself. But the leader was always Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, and then Mike Tyson, and then Floyd Mayweather.
All right. Question 3. Do you have any boxing superstitions?
Do I have boxing superstitions? I wouldn't call it a superstition. I'm just a perfectionist at a lot of things I do. So I always do left because I'm left-handed. I always do left first, right. That's my only thing that I do. But if I did right first, it wouldn't change anything. It's just my way of order.
Okay. All right. Favorite boxing movie? Question 4.
Favorite boxing movie?
Yeah.
I think my favorite boxing movie would be Rocky 3.
Okay.
With freaking Clubber Lang.
Okay.
I want you, Rocky. I want you.
All right, question 5. Do you have any hobbies outside of the sport of boxing?
Oh, that's why I'm so cold. My life. People say, "What do you do for fun?" My fun is everything I do. I comprise my life of everything I love, that I would do for free, but a lot of stuff I get paid for. So from flying planes to art to building things to fixing things to I'm just a creator. I love creating. I love seeing something, nothing go to something. That's the main thing about me. I'm a creator. I do comedy, stand-up comedy, everything. I'm an artist all the way around.
You're even a comedian?
I'm telling people like, man, what don't you do? Like, I'm really that guy, but it's not like I just do the stuff and a little bit. Like, I'm really good at all this stuff. If they follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or anything, you will see, like, man, this dude really is jack of all trades.
So here's what you need to do in one of your fights coming up. Don't do no trash talk in the fight. When you're in the clutch with them on the ropes, try to tell them a joke.
Oh, I always do that. I be in the ring. I be talking. I done said some funny stuff and had the dude I'm fighting laughing. I'm like, I remember one fight I was fighting the dude and we huddled up. And I'm like, man, what kind of cologne you got on? Why you smelling good in the fight? And he started laughing. He pushed off of me. And everybody thought that he was mad, but he pushed off me because he started laughing. He was like, man, watch out, dude.
That's funny because, you know the female champion, Tori Nelson? Are you familiar with her?
Yeah.
So she just told me that in an interview. She said she was in close with this girl and they were tearing it up. And all of a sudden this girl leaned in and smelled her hair and told her that her hair smelled good. And she said, I had to contain myself. She said, I started laughing. She said, we were tearing it up to the body. And all of a sudden she tells me my hair smells
how it
good.
Be, man. I'd be in there like.
All right, question 6. Now, you've already said a lot, but let's see if you can come up with something different. What is something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
Something my boxing fans don't know about me. Dang, I mean, I wear everything on my shoulders. Dang, so much. I'm a graduate. I graduated college with my business entrepreneurship, bachelor's in my business entrepreneurship.
Okay. All right, question 7. Why should boxing fans come out and watch you fight?
Because I'm entertaining from the time I walk out to the time I get out the ring. Like, you're not gonna only see somebody in there fighting. You gonna get a fashion show. You gonna get a clever walkout. You know, you going to see a bright dude. Not to toot my own horn, but I mean, I can inspire people from all ranges, not only just boxing fans.
Okay. So question 8. If you could go on a date with any celebrity, what celebrity would you want to go on a date with?
If I go on a date, any celebrity, Layla Ali.
Okay.
I'm cool. I'm cool friends with Layla Ali, and I've never been a person that was like have a famous person that I have a crush on or somebody I wanted. I've always felt like one day I'm gonna be there and they're gonna all be my peers. But I love Layla Ali.
Okay. Question 9. If you could have dinner with any 4 people in the world, dead or alive, celebrities, people from history, what 4 people would you want at your table?
Definitely Muhammad Ali, um, Barack Obama, God. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
And my mom, who passed away in 2018. Rest in peace.
Nice. All right, question 10. What's the best advice you've ever gotten from a boxer or a trainer, and who was it?
The best advice was save your money, invest your money. Boxing isn't a forever sport. Get what you can out of it and transition to everything else you want to do in life. And that came from my friend Terrence Crawford.
Okay.
People call him cheap and frugal, but it's for a reason. Cause he always tell me like, man, you know how many boxers I've seen like earn millions of dollars and they ain't got nothing to show for it no more. I don't want to be that person. So that's one thing that always stuck with me.
Okay. Question 11. Now this is a hypothetical question, so I don't need no fans getting all bent out of shape either way how he answers this. It's just hypothetical. Question 11. Would you rather spend the evening smoking weed with Mike Tyson or drinking wine with Kevin Hart?
Drinking wine with Kevin Hart all day. Because I drink wine occasionally now, and I've met Kevin Hart, but I've never got to experience a personal level like that. And I'm goofy. I love to laugh. I love Kevin Hart, and I've already had to sit down with Mike Tyson, and he was smoking weed and doing shrooms and everything. It was so fun. I already did that, so I do something new.
All right, question 12. If you could have a boxing match with any fighter in history, alive or dead, who would your ultimate fight be against?
My ultimate fight. You said current or past? It don't matter.
No, past or present doesn't matter. Anybody out of history, just any fighter that you would want your ultimate fight to be against.
It'd be current. It'd be Canelo Alvarez because that's going to benefit me right now. You know what I mean? Like, I love to meet some of the older fighters, but to be in the ring, you gotta be somebody right now, which is Canelo.
Okay. Question 13. What's a typical training day for you?
Typical training day is morning is either strength conditioning or cardio, boxing in the afternoon, and swimming at night.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Or on days I don't swim, we'll do hot yoga.
Okay. How is that? Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, I don't enjoy it while I'm doing it, but afterwards I do. Like doing it, it's like a real workout. You be in there, you sweating, it's hard. Sitting there holding them poses and stuff is really a workout. You be sore, but afterwards, it just feel good. You feel like loose and relieved, and it helps the circulation of your body.
Okay, question 14. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
What's the weirdest thing I ever eaten?
Yeah.
When I went on a cruise back in 2000, I think 12 or 13, they had a menu called Did You? Like, did you ever try it? And they had things like snail, chocolate covered crickets, frog legs, and I ate all of those. I tried it all.
And which one was the best and which one was the worst?
The frog legs is the best, and the worst was the crickets. But I gotta add this. I gotta have a secondary too. When I went to China, they had this bowl. It was a bowl. They said it cost about $100 a serving, and it looks like grits. And you put honey on it and little milk, and you eat it. And I was sitting there eating it, and they was like, "What's this?" It was like swallow. I'm like, I am swallowing it. He was like, "No, swallow, spit." I'm like, "Spit it out." They're like, "No, it's the bird, the swallow bird. It's their regurgitated food they feed their babies." That was a delicacy in China. That's a delicacy.
Did you spit it out?
It was too late. I already ate it before they told me. So I think that was the number one. The first thing that came to mind was the cruise, but that was the number one.
Okay.
And it also had this stuff that looked like red tofu. And I'm like, what is this? I'm eating it. It looked like red tofu, but it was beef. It was cow blood clot.
Oh my God. Question 15. What has been the biggest accomplishment in your life?
The biggest accomplishment in life, would be graduating from college. I think graduating from college was the biggest accomplishment. I've had so many big accomplishments, but that's the first thing that comes to mind because it's one of the ones that I never expected to do. I never said I want to be a college graduate.
Okay. All right, question 16. Have you ever had to save someone's life?
I have. I've saved somebody. I've saved a couple people alive. I was in the army. I was in the military. I was in the army, and I was in Afghanistan. Been a couple times. I've saved people life where they came back and told me I saved their life that I didn't know I saved their life. But like I directly saved someone's life, in the military. I don't talk too much about it. Been in Afghanistan, but just know I saved some people's life when I was in Afghanistan.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. Question 17.
Yes, sir.
Who are some of the bigger name boxers that you've sparred with?
The biggest name boxer I sparred with was Andre Ward, of course. I was one of his sparring partners for his first fight at 175. When I was it was my pro debut. I was going from amateurs to the pros, and my coach used to coach him in the amateurs at the Olympics, Bashir Abdullah. And he had a connection with the Andre Ward team and stuff in California, and I went out there for training camp and sparred him. But I've sparred other pros and stuff too, but he was the biggest.
Okay. Question 18. Who was the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
People who's watching this, I'm not saying this biasly, but I'm the chief sparring partner of Bud, and I always tell him I've never been hit like he's hit me. And a lot of it is not from this blunt power. It's just knowing how to place your punches and the speed and the timing. Like, it's been times he hit me, I'm like, what the heck? Like, what the hell I just got hit with? But I've been there with all types of guys from, heavyweights all the way down to lightweights, and nobody has ever hit me like Bud has.
And that's Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, Terrence Bud Crawford. And that's why when the debate of the Errol Spence and Bud and Terrence Crawford fight was going around for so many years, and everybody who's riding with Errol Spence, their key to victory was always his size and his power. And I'm like, dude, y'all don't understand. That does not matter. I spar with Bud all the time. I've got well over 1,000 rounds with Bud, and I've been in there and I've been back and forth. Me and him, boom, 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 boom. We've been back and forth, and I'm a light heavyweight, super middleweight. And I'm like, dude, that's not a key to victory with Bud. You got to come with more than that.
You know who Bud reminds me of when it comes to his power like that, how he's carried it throughout his career, is like Oscar De La Hoya did. When Oscar was knocking guys out at 130, 135, all the way up to 160 through his career, Bud's done the same thing. He's carried his power up, and he keeps carrying it.
Yeah. Like Tommy Hearns,
Yep.
he got that type of power.
All right, question 19. Can you tell me an interesting story from your boxing career?
Man, so many. Can you give me a subject? I could pick off something like that.
No, just, I mean, any story that comes to mind. Something that the normal fans probably wouldn't know about, something that hasn't been in the media, just story that you would know, maybe a backstage story, a story with a fan, a story with another fighter.
Backstage. So people always talk about how we got 3 coaches on our team, but it's actually more than 3 because me and Bud play coach for each other. Like when I'm fighting and he's not fighting, you know, he's somewhere in the stands and I know where he's at, and vice versa. Every time he fight, if you go back and watch, every time he come to the ring, you'll see him in his corner. He's looking like this around him. Everybody, what is he looking at? And he's looking for me to give him confirmation where I'm at. And I'm always like right there in the front row by the family and stuff. And I'll be like, right here, I put my hand up, and then he'll shake his head like that. So every time we go in there, he go in there, the bell ring, he's in there, I'm giving him a different eye from the coaches. So when he come back, he listens to the coaches, and then he'll look over at me and I'll be like, hey, you got to do this, or come out with the lead hook. And he'll be like, all right, he'll shake his head, and then he'll come out, and he'll do what the coaches say and do what I do. And a lot of times you will see if it's successful, like it was one fight in particular when he fought Postal. I was like, man, hey, he's carrying his hands forward. Come around with the lead hook. And he came out through the lead hook, boom, dropped him. And he ran over to the corner and he pointed. He was pointing at me like, yeah, you was right. Like stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's interesting, and I guess if people watching this, they're gonna look out at that fight now, or go back and look at old fights that you will see like the connection.
I know I'm going to now. I'm gonna be looking for that.
Another big one that people do know about is go watch the Sean Porter fight in the 10th round when he was like, "Damn, yeah, you down?" And he like, "All right." He said, "I'm down," and he came out and he stopped him.
Okay.
So,
all right, question 20. Your last question. If you could box in a celebrity boxing match against any actor or athlete, who would your opponent be?
it would be Jake Paul.
Everybody wants to kick Jake Paul's ass.
He brings a lot of attention to boxing and a lot of money. And at the end of the day, like, I can give all this hoop hop hop. I'm doing it because I love it. Like, at the end of the day, them dollars make sense. So Jake Paul is the one who's bringing them dollars, and he's not like a top level boxer. I'm gonna give him credit. Like, he's been working hard and he's getting better. So it will be an interesting fight for me to take. Like, you know what? I'm gonna see what this dude got. Like, it'd be great, and the money is beautiful. So yeah.
You're right. All right, well, listen, man, I appreciate you taking time to come on and have fun with the 20 questions. If there's anything you want to say to the fans or make an announcement or shout out to any sponsors, go ahead.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys for, tuning in. Like I was saying earlier, man, I'm the type of guy where you can be inspired from a lot of things, even outside of boxing. So I just ask for you guys to follow me and watch my career and watch my life, from being a community activist to being a comedian to being Mr. Do It All. Just follow me. You'll be you'll be greatly entertained and inspired in so many ways. Follow me on Instagram, Steven Nelson Boxing. You know, on Facebook, my fan page is Steven So Cold Nelson. Twitter is So Cold Nelson, and TikTok is Steven Nelson Boxing. So I'm on every platform. Just give me a follow. It doesn't hurt. If you don't like it, unfollow me. But I promise you will.
Now, you say stand-up comedian. Do you actually have you done any live shows for anybody?
Yeah, well, I started doing stand-up comedy when I was injured. You know, after all the things I've been through in life, you know, I realized like everything happened for a reason. So don't sit around and be depressed and sad about it. You know, find something to gravitate towards. So when I was hurt, you know what? I set up and I went back and watched all the old sitcoms I grew up on. I used to laugh at, and Def Comedy Jam and Martin and all the old shows. And I was like, wait, I'm just as funny as these dudes. Cause I've always been goofy, but I was always labeled as childish. But I'm just always been a goofy comedian. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to get off my ass. Soon as I heal up a little bit, I'm gonna go have my own show. And I rented out a facility, and I put on social media. I'm having my own show. I'm having my first comedy show, and I was writing down material, and I had my first show, and people who came couldn't believe that it was my first show. They thought I had been doing it for years, and it was a great success. And then I had a couple shows after that. But then when I got back to boxing and healed up, you know, I focused. I was also learning how to fly planes. I was actually going and using my money saved up to learn how to fly planes. So once I started back boxing, I put that in the comedy to the side and focused back on boxing.
So do you think once the boxing career is over, do you think you'll go back and just do stand-up permanently then?
Yeah, I'm going to do some stuff now too. I just got a lot of things going on, like from being the executive director and working with the kids and, you know, doing my own career and a little bit of the other life things that I'm doing. But I definitely, you know, I'm open to it. If somebody reached out to me and said, hey, you want to do a comedy show? I got material, and I'm a creator, so I got a lot of stuff that we can do.
Okay.
But as far as flying planes, it's just something that I always wanted to do. You know, I don't plan on being a fly for, you know, Southwest Airlines or nothing like that. Just something that I have under my belt where, you know, some days I can take me and my family up and go see the horizon and fly around for a little bit, stuff like that. Just for a hobby.
So look, you told me a lot of different stuff about Terrence Crawford today in the interview, and I appreciate that. I want to give you back a Terrence Crawford story that I have.
Yeah.
So when he came out here to Minnesota where I'm at, he was at the fights, the ESPN fights at Hinckley. He was here with Shakir Stevenson and Bomac and them guys. And I didn't know he was here at first, and I was sitting in the crowd.
Wait, question. When was that?
Probably just a couple years ago.
Yeah, I was fighting then too. It was me and Jamel fighting, I think.
Oh, yep, okay.
Yep, I fought in that car. That's why he was out there.
I was gonna ask you that, but I wasn't sure if you were on the card or not.
Yeah.
So I was sitting in the stands, and I didn't even realize he was there. And usually I'm the photographer for the show, but that show I wasn't because ESPN came in, and we didn't get enough clearance to have our own photographers with the ESPN guys. So I was in the stands, and he went walking by, and I looked up and I did a double take, and I'm like, "Is that Terrence Crawford?" I'm like, "Why would Terrence Crawford be here in Minnesota?" So then
Super humble dude.
So I stood up and I go, "Terrence," and he turned around and I go, "Terrence Crawford?" And he goes, "Yeah, what's up?" And I go, "Dude, can I get a picture with you?" And he goes, "Well," and you're right, he was so humble. He whispered to me, he said, "Well, dude, I'm on my way to the bathroom." And I go, "All right, it's cool." And he goes, "All right, if you hurry up."
Dude, that's funny because he came back and was talking about that.
So
said,
yeah,
dude, I'm trying to use best. I had to pee so bad.
Yeah.
Dude, so a picture. I'm like, hurry up, man, I gotta pee.
So yes, this is exactly what happened. So I walked up and he's like, "Hurry up before everybody else sees you." So I got with him. We got a picture together, and then all of a sudden, DeLorean Caraway, who's another boxer, saw us. And he's a Minnesota boxer. So he walked up and he was like, "Can I get in the picture?" So then we took a separate picture, and then DeLorean Caraway got in the picture. So I have the picture of the three of us framed right here on my bookshelf. And then all of a sudden, he went to leave. And then as soon as he turned around, there had been another 10 people standing there. And they were like, Crawford, can we get a picture? Can we get an autograph?
Yeah, man.
I thought for sure. I thought for sure he was going to blow anybody off and be like, look, man, I got to piss. He didn't say anything after that about going to the bathroom. He was so cool. He took pictures with every person and signed every autograph. And I bet you he stood there for at least another 20 to 30 minutes. And I sat down and I thought, the whole time I thought, this dude has got to piss. And he's been standing there for 30 minutes. And then he finally walked away calmly, thanked everybody, and then just went and pissed. And I thought, you know what? I thought that dude was cool before that. But after I saw that, I thought, you know what? That is a really nice dude.
That's one thing about Bud. Sometimes he forget how big he is. And he's sometimes so humble, and we have to remind him sometimes, like, man, you can't do that. You got, like, even like coming back from this fight with Errol Spence, he wanted to fly a commercial. I'm like, dude,
see that?
That was a fight. I'm like, dude, you can't fly commercial, bro. Coming back from the Errol Spence fight, dude. Like, this is the #1 fight of the fucking century, dude. You cannot fly private. He's like, we good? I'm like, dude, no. So we had to beg him to fly private. Like
so you know how funny that is, though, that he actually told you about that, about him trying to go to the bathroom.
He's like, man, I had to pee, man. I was peeing myself every time I take these pictures, man. He said, this dude stopped me, man. And that ended up everybody start rushing me for pictures. I'm like, dude, I gotta pee.
I felt so bad because I just thought he was rolling, and then he was like, he whispered it because he didn't want anybody to hear it. He's like, dude, I'm on my way to the bathroom. I gotta piss it. And then he was like, all right, make it quick. And then after that, Shakir walked up, and I got a picture with Shakir too. But it was cool to get pictures with both of them because, I mean, if you're out in your area, that's one thing. But I don't see these guys every day in Minnesota.
Right.
So it was cool.
Dope you got that.
And then Andre Ward actually was one of the TV hosts, and so was Tim Bradley. So I got pictures with all 4 of them guys that night, and Bomac.
That's tight.
So that was a great night for a guy out of Minnesota to get a picture with Terrence Crawford, Shakir Stevenson, Andre Ward, Tim Bradley, and Bomac.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was definitely a good night. But no, I just thought you'd find that story pretty interesting, and I thought the fans would realize, like you said, how nice and humble that guy really is.
Right, for sure.
All right, well, listen, I'm gonna end the interview on that, and hold on, and the truth has spoken.